All those tomatoes laying on the ground didn't get hit by the frost the other night, and they just fell off of the vines. As the vines weaken, and you can pick all those up, and if you keep them in a, we'd put them on a jealousy bag porch where they won't freeze, and you can eat those as they ripen for, we've done it from up to about 5 or 6 weeks. Some people wrap them up in newspaper, individually do that, and we don't do that because we can't see them when they start to go bad unless they've made the paper get damp. So we'd rather look at them, and that way we can take the ripest one to use. Another trick is to pull the whole vine up and put it in a garage that does not get cold, and hang it upside down on a nail from a rafter or a joist, and they will ripen on the vine. That's an old trick's been used for a long time. Well, we haven't picked the tomatoes yet, but sitting right here I was counting them, and it's probably 30 on the ground. There's probably maybe 5 or 6 that are halfway ripe on the vines, and a few that are turning from the dark green, and we'll pick all those and save them and see how long we can eat them. We should be able to make it to at least the middle of December. Now where my bride is over there picking beans, it's got colder than it did over here. Now this cold air would go down that hill over there and go right in the river. But this end got a little more sun, and the ground was probably warmer, and as it got cold last Friday and Saturday night, that heat came out of the ground because the pepper plants are really tender and they should be hurt. And you can see a little bit of damage on some of this upper foliage, but the bottom is not. And they didn't really get hurt. Now the beans over there, you can see those beans, they're pretty thin through there. And see, these beans aren't that bad off. The tops got it, but the base of the plants didn't get it. And there's still some beans in there, and we won't pull them yet because if it does stay warm for the next little bit. And these are beans that they did grow in the last 8 days. So we'll probably, I'd say it's going to be at least a half a Wally World bag off of these beans. And these tomatoes were dying on their own anyway, and they're the ones that had all the white flies. And all these vines have died over here. All we got to do is pull the vines out of the holes and pull the plastic up. We got little metal U-shaped rods that we put in the ground to keep that intact, keep the wind from blowing it away. But all in all, it's about it for the garden, except these beans may produce if it stays above freezing. And the other day when we were looking at this okra, I didn't find but 2 growing. Well, when you come back after a week and it's been warmer, there's one I missed the other day. There's one I must have missed on this one. And here's one I must have missed too. Now, I don't mind having a few of them on there, and if they'll keep growing, I'll use those for seeds. Especially that one, because it's off a big, strong okra plant. And you want to take your seeds for next year off the strongest plant, and you can tell by that stalk coming out the ground how thick that is as opposed to the others. And see, this one here is really super big and healthy, and that's where I'll get the pods off of this. And see, there's one there we missed last week. Well, it's not too bad. That's about 2 Wally World bags, about 2/3 full. It's about as most we put in any of them, so they won't bust the seams. And then it's not too bad for November the 2nd. And we left a bunch of small ones in there, and it's not supposed to freeze for the next 7 or 8 days, so we might get another picking off of them. Well, the sun is setting here on the East Coast. It's 5 o'clock on the Wednesday the 6th of November. Working on putting the garden to bed. We pulled the plastic and pulled all the plants off of it. We're going to roll that plastic up, and we've gotten, we brought all this down from my house. Leaves and grass clippings, and covered this. And then down here we have a community area and a few hardwood trees and a lot of grass. And this is a mixture of leaves, pine tags, and grass. And all we gotta do is spread it out, which isn't gonna be today. We'll still get a few beans. The okra's still alive. Those beans are alive. Peppers are alive. Everything else is pretty much had it.